has finally happened. After 1 year since its popularity hit and 20 years after its declassification in 2003, we finally have page 25 of the Gateway paper. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, hit this link here so that you can watch the entirety of the Gateway series. Otherwise, I'm Zayna and I explain things, so hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. I'm a little late to this party, but I would like to thank the YouTuber Stephanie, whose channel is linked in the description, because without her, we would not have this page. A couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, she did do an interview and questioned the director, I believe, of the Monroe Institute, and actually found out that page 25 does exist and that if anyone had asked them, they would have sent it over. So definitely go check out her channel if you would like to watch that video. Let's do this. Okay, so page 24 leading into page 25 did have a little bit of a cliffhanger, so we're going to rewind to the beginning of section 34 so that we have some sort of context for the beginning of page 25. I already went over it in great depth in this video right here, so you can go there to watch it. This will just be a little abbreviated version. Section 34 talks about how our tangible world only exists because the still energy from the absolute has been pulled into the boundaries of space and time and the cosmic egg, etc., etc., and these boundaries have given this absolute still energy movement which created the universe and eventually creates us. It continues saying that concepts in modern science have started to overlap with ancient concepts. For example, the cosmic egg is not a new concept to modern science. It has existed in a variety of ways in previous religions and cultures. And it continues by saying that there are a lot of concepts within this paper that also overlap with ancient Judeo-Christian beliefs, such as the concept of the Holy Trinity. The Father is represented by infinity, which is energy at rest. The Son is represented by consciousness of self, which brings energy into motion and creates our reality. And hitting the beginning of page 25, the eternal thought or concept of which results from this self-consciousness serves the absolute as the model around which the evolution of time-space revolves to ultimately attain a reflection of and union with him. AKA, we finally have a reveal for the Holy Ghost / Spirit completing the Holy Trinity. But the buck doesn't stop there. McDonald continues, saying that the universal hologram, the Torus of creation and evolution are not things that are new, much less original. They're all concepts that, while differently named, have existed in a multitude of Eastern and Western religions in the past. He continues, saying, whether it's the stylized labyrinth, once popular in the Hellenic world, the spiralized version of the Hebrew tree of life or its Hindu counterpart, or the Chinese spiral through the fourfold powers, the ultimate meaning is the same. Breaking that down, I believe the Hellenic labyrinth, Hellenic meaning Greek, is a reference to the labyrinth built by Daedalus for King Minos to hold the Minotaur. It's a literal path to God, assuming that the Minotaur is the god, or maybe death leads to God. I'll leave that up to you. As for the Tree of Life, aka the Kabbalah, it's a set of esoteric teachings meant to explain the relationship between God and the mortal finite universe, aka his creations. It comes from the more mystical interpretations of Judaism. In contrast, we have the Hindu Tree of Life, also known as the Kapalvrishka Kapalvrusham. It is believed to fulfill every wish by those who leave offerings and recite the appropriate chants. It's not the exact same concept as the Hebrew Tree of Life, but I do see the connection if you take the offerings to mean the human, tangible world, the being that is granting the wishes to be a god, because it's Hinduism, so multiple gods, and the chants to be the relationship between the two, then I can kind of see how there's a connection. And finally, we have the Chinese spiral through fourfold powers. I was having a little bit of trouble finding an exact definition for this. Some of these pages were scrubbed, but I did find that the Four Noble Truths seem to be parallel to these last two concepts that I talked about, so that's what I decided to go forward with. But if they're different from the fourfold powers, please let me know, and please let us know what they are in the comments. The Four Noble Truths are a Buddhist concept and are listed as the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the end of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering. This, like the above, relates to the tangible / physical world and path to God. It's not supposed to be a negative view of life at all, just simply stating the facts. When you're alive, you suffer, and when you eventually kick the bucket, you're no longer suffering. Also, if anyone disagrees with anything that I've just listed, let me know in the comments. McDonald wraps this section, stating that mystics all over the world have intuitively perceived the universal hologram spiral form and have been incorporating it in their religious writings since antiquity until present day. Section 35 is left brain limitations. McDonald starts this section by letting us know that 20th century physics relies on a left brain linear quantitative style of reasoning to approach the same knowledge which the mystics of old old, apparently acquired in a holistic, intuitional, and right brain style. The switch from right brain to left brain likely happened as our scientific knowledge increased and our grasp of the physical world got better as well. He continues saying that for us culturally left-brainers, Gateway is a great way to tap into intuitive, holistic type of interface with a universal hologram needed to provide the context that thinkers like Einstein have sought in their labors to discover a unified field theory in physics. I'll admit I had to read that one twice, but basically what McDonald is saying here is that since scientifically we're more inclined to use our left brain rather than our right brain, we can use Gateway to connect us with the universal hologram, which is more easily accessible, if not only accessible, by the right brain, in order to get answers to things that we understand but cannot fully confirm with our current scientific methods and data, aka the left brain methods. McDonald continues, stating that left brain culture also creates self-imposed restrictions when approaching unorthodox methods of science, while right brain methods could offset perceptions associated with altered states of consciousness. AKA, if anyone in the scientific community brings up astral projection, they're no longer seen as credible and likely seen as crazy, whereas if Gateway was used after being proven correctly, perhaps even through this paper, it could reverse that stigma. According to McDonald, if we can perceive ourselves fully in the context of that portion of the universal hologram, which is the reflection of ourselves, we release ourselves from the prison of subjectivity. Section 36 is self-knowledge. This section begins by explaining that the mystics of old knew that if anyone wanted to begin any kind of journey, they had to know thyself. Before you can attempt to conquer or do anything in the outside world, you gotta know what's happening within yourself. Psychological balance matters, and according to McDonald, nothing will ever replace the depth and fullness of the perception of the self, which can be achieved when the mind alters its state of consciousness sufficiently to perceive the very hologram of itself, which it has projected into the universe in its proper context, as a part of the universal hologram in a totally holistic and intuitional way. He finishes by saying that the one promise of Gateway is to provide a portal by which, based on months, if not years of practice, the individual may pass in his search to find self, personal effectuality, and truth in the larger sense. If you would like to know how this video ends, you can do so by clicking this link right here, which will take you to episode 7 of the Gateway series. All you gotta do is click section 37. Also, I was not planning on putting out a video this week, but I did, so the next video that you'll see will be the metaverse, what it is and why it matters to you. Thanks for watching.